Are you hanging out in the shop with Daddy?
Yeah.
What you eating?
Jelly sandwich.
All right, guys, it's time. Now, look, I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the chase because I get a little long-winded when it comes to things like this. Here's what we're doing today. We're changing the clutch out in the Calypso. Now, the clutch that's in this car is actually a really good clutch, and I like it, but I've had issues with this thing wanting to try to slip and chatter. So we're gonna go ahead and try something different. Now, some of you may or may not be familiar with competition clutch. What we have is a Vengeance clutch, which is a sister company, a division of competition clutch. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't know a lot about twin disc. Obviously that's what this is, and I've never owned a twin disc. All right, so here is the part number of the clutch. This is a very unique design. The flywheel actually has the cooling fins made into it, okay? So that's really cool, that's different. And in this bag, you're gonna have your weights. So you can weight this thing 50 ounce or 28 ounce. It's just a bolt-on weight. And there's our 28 ounce. That's what we're gonna have to do. And here are your bolts, screws, whatever you wanna call them, and flywheel bolts right here. Okay, also comes with Loctite, that's really cool. There we go, so we have some blue and we have some red. This thing's good to somewhere around 850 foot-pounds of torque or so, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this clutch may look familiar to you. For any of you guys that follow Neo Mustangs, which I'm sure most of you do, this is the clutch that he had. He decided to go ahead and upgrade and go to the biggest clutch, which is, I think, is good to like 900 or 950. All right, he's making a lot more power than I am, so this clutch should be fine. But that's where the clutch went that you saw on Neo's channel. So huge shout out to Hanlon Motorsports and Chris over at Vengeance for hooking this up and getting us this clutch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing apart. We'll look at it real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and throw it in the car. The good thing is you get this in a package, so you don't have to worry about which flywheel you need or anything like that. And like we said before, you have the adjustable weight option. So that's really good. You get all of this in one package. So we'll do T for top. It's a good way for me to understand it. Cool. So pretty simple setup here. So I love the cooling feature built into the flywheel. But for right now, we got to get this TKX out and our old clutch. Obviously this car is a turbo car, so the exhaust is super easy on this thing. So I'll probably just set up a time lapse, let you guys watch me take this transmission out, and then we'll talk about it when we get a little closer. This is the clutch that came out of the car. This is a Ram. I can't remember which clutch this is. I'll have to put it up. It's actually a really good clutch, but for whatever reason, it never worked in my car very good. Maybe I didn't break it in correctly. More than likely, we can clean all this up, and this would be great for, say, like the Retro Fox. I do believe this clutch is still fine. So it got a little hot there, but I don't know. Maybe just get a new disc. Flywheel. So it's got some hot spots on it, but we can get all that fixed, no big deal. This is definitely something that I'll be holding on to. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and clean this thing up with some brake cleaner and get it thrown on the car. So you have your weights, and obviously ours is 28 ounce because it's a stroker, or 351, or an old 289, something like that, old 302. And here's your 50 ounce, but we don't need that. A little bit of red Loctite on these. Definitely don't want this to come off, so make sure you get a decent amount. And that's usually what I do there, just one little stripe, and it'll work its way around. I don't see a torque spec on that, but we're just gonna go tight. Okay. That's not it. Maybe the next one. There we go. Awesome design on the clutch though. I gotta admit, that's pretty damn cool. So this will help cool everything off. I guess I should have shown you guys that. The flattest disc goes to the outside and the other disc goes to the inside. That way they're really close together, as you can see right here. So yeah, we got that done. Now it's just time to go ahead, put the bell housing back on this thing and stab the transmission back in. So like I've said before, I've never owned a twin disc, but I'm not the easiest on clutches, so if this thing survives with me, chances are it's going to survive with you. Now I do expect the pedal feel to probably be maybe a little harder than what we had in the car, because believe it or not, that clutch that we had, that ram that was in this thing, was super light. I mean, way lighter than the clutch that's in the red car. So this is probably going to be as light or touch heavier. I just want to let you guys know that ahead of time, but the engagement should be really smooth. So I'm excited about this. Let me go ahead, stick this transmission in, get everything hooked back up, and in the next video we'll go for a drive in this thing. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. So huge shout out to Handling and Vengeance for sending this clutch out. We're definitely going to give it a go, but I'll let you guys know for sure if I like it or not. I mean, you know, here's the thing I want everybody to remember. Not every clutch is meant for every person. You know, I for one, I like a spec clutch. I'm a big spec guy, I like them. A lot of people hate them, okay? So we're gonna give this thing a go, we're gonna see how it works. Now, what's the expectations of this clutch? What are we going to do with it whenever we put it in the car? We're not gonna track this car a lot. At some point, we will get it to the track, or at least I like to think that. But I'm more curious how this thing does on the street, and if it'll get rid of some of the chatter that we had. As you can see, definitely had some chatter. So hopefully all that goes away and this car becomes a lot more drivable, and we'll find out in time. I'll catch you guys in the next video whenever we drive this thing. See you then.